Howdy, we're gonna talk now again about the Great Kale Seed Roundup. So last time we left off with the plants in the field. They weren't quite ready to harvest. They needed to grow their pods and then they needed to dry out and turn brown on the plant. So that has happened at this point. So after they were dry, we just collected them by cutting them and putting them into some sort of bag. We like to use pillowcases. You can also use paper bags. And then you let these sit in the pillowcase or the paper bag, you know, maybe up out of the reach of mice or other animals. And then you're gonna put them, when you're ready and they're dry, you can let them sit for quite a while. But after they're all dried out, you can put them into a bucket and you're gonna do what's called threshing, where you're gonna stomp on them and you're gonna separate the seeds from the chaff. So you just kind of get in there and dance around a little bit and you break up all those seed pods. And then after you've got the seed pods all broken up, you can kind of come over here and look in here. You can see that they're now, so what we've got here is empty pods and a lot of chaff, and then a ton of seed down there at the bottom. So we're going to, so now after you've gotten it all kind of broken off of the pods, we're gonna go ahead and run these. So now we're gonna do what's called winnowing, and there's a couple ways you can winnow. One way is to put them through some sort of a screen. You can use like a colander or whatever. We always just kind of keep a lookout for things at thrift stores that we can use that are like strainers of various types. You know, some things are great because they'll have holes that are big enough to where the seeds can fall through, but the chaff will stay on top. And then in some cases, the holes are smaller, and so the seeds may stay on top, and then you might leave smaller chaff to go on that will stay on the top of the screen. But either way, you can do this. And you know, as a home seed saver, what you have down here, you can decide how clean you want these. Obviously for us as a seed company, we have to make sure there's no chaff in our seeds. So another thing we often will do, there's a lot of earwigs in there too. Another thing that we'll do is we'll take and we'll winnow them using fans. So I like to use 2 box fans. It just keeps the seeds going straighter, and it gives you a different variation in speed, and different crops have different speeds, but generally brassicas like the kale are really heavy, and so they'll fall really easily. So what you can do is you can use the fans and you can pour this in front of the fan like this, and basically your seeds are really heavy, so they're falling faster, they're heavier, and then the chaff is a lot lighter, and so it'll blow away. And you can do this a few different times, but it works pretty well. So that is probably, for you guys, clean enough. I'll run this a couple more times and make sure I get those earwigs out of there, but I'll run this a couple more times just to get that last little bit of chaff out of there. But mostly that's a lot of really nice seed there. So that's all you got to do to save your kale seeds. All right, good luck with the Great Kale Seed Roundup.